Welcome to Engage Math, Pre-Algebra Lesson 17, Problem 8. Okay, so we have these two tables and we have to determine a lot of different pieces of information, starting with car A. So one thing that I think helps is to think that the X in these particular problems is the time and the Y is the distance. So I'm going to just put that there so that you have that in mind. How do I know that? Well, I know that the Y, the output, depends on the input. The distance depends on the time. It's not that the time depends on the distance. So that is how I know the dependent is the distance. So that's how I know what X and Y are. So now let's look at whether these particular situations would include the point 0, 0. That's needed to determine if it's proportional. So I can tell that as X goes up by 1 every time, the Y is going up by 120 here, which means that if X went down by 1 to 0, the Y would go down by 120 to 0. So yes, this particular race car A is proportional. Let's look at B. Once again, as X goes up by 1, the Y goes up by 150. So if we went backwards, we could again see, yep, it includes the point 0, 0. And it's definitely a constant rate because of the consistency of going up by 1 and going up by 150 for the Y's. So that they're both yes, because I'm going to kind of just summarize that they include 0, 0, and they have a constant rate of change. So they constant of proportionality. And honestly, maybe the best way to look at it is what we're going to do next, because when we get to part D, we're going to see that they can be written in the form y equals k times x. So we'll get to that in a minute, but that's really what's happening. Okay, the constant of proportionality, as we know, k is equal to the y coordinate over the x coordinate. If it's proportional, it doesn't matter which y and x you pick. If we're looking at race car A, so I'm going to kind of say for race car A, we could do 120 over 1, and then we would say k is equal to 120. But what if you're like, well, what if I pick 600 over 5? Yep, it would still be 120. Okay, let's look at race car B. And once again, the easiest one to do is 150 over 1, but you could pick any and you'd still get 150. Okay, so let's look now at which car travels faster. So the reason we know that car B travels faster is that for every hour, it's going up by 150 miles. So we're going to say car B, and it's because, formal way of saying it, it's because the K for B is greater than the K value for A. So we're getting multiplied by, a bigger number every time, meaning that it's going more miles per hour. Okay, so our equations now are just going to be y equals kx form. So let's do both A and B. For A, it would simply be y equals 120 times x, and for B, it would be y equals 150 times x. And that's it. Thanks for joining us today at Engaged Math.